Hi there, this is Erez with Ergo.cc, and today I want to talk to you about the Shift key. Turns out you may not need it after all. Let me show you what I mean. We just introduced a cool new feature in the advanced settings called AutoShift. Now, what AutoShift does is when I tap a key, it sends the lowercase version or the unshifted version, but when I tap and hold it down, it sends the shifted version. The thing is, it's a feature you have to customize a little bit, and let me show you how you do that. First, what you want to do is you want to enable the AutoShift. And the main thing you're going to want to customize here is this timeout. How long should you have to hold down the key? You don't want to have it too long because then it would slow down your typing, and you don't want to have it too fast for your typing speed because you would get random capital letters in the middle of your words. So you have to dial this in very precisely for your personal typing style. Let me show you how to do that. So we're going to go to layer 0 and we're going to temporarily commandeer a few of the keys here. So let's go for the arrow keys. And when we enable AutoShift, we suddenly get a new group of keys here, key codes we can assign. So we can lower the timeout, meaning make AutoShift faster and make it quicker to trigger. And we can also increase the timeout. And finally, we can report the timeout. And let's say I'm going to report the timeout using this key. Why not? There we go. So these are just temporary. They're just for me to dial in the value that works for you right now. So let me compile this layout. You can see I've made a previous attempt here, but this is gonna work better. And now I'm gonna grab it and get my trusty paper clip and flash it onto my board. Nice. Now we have a sentence with some capital letters, and I'm gonna go ahead and try to type it with a default value of 175 milliseconds without using the shift key at all. Let's see. Okay, so it worked, but I felt like I had to really pause for quite a while on every letter just to make sure that it picks up. So I'm gonna lower the timeout. I'm gonna hit the AutoShift timeout down a few times and see how low can I get this value without starting to get false positives, right? So let's try again now. Oh. Okay, starting to get some false positives here. I'm gonna up the timeout again, make it slower a little bit. That's the one there. I wish the one was a little bit faster. Let's lower it down. You get the process. That's reasonable. I'm gonna lower it once more, just a skosh. Yeah, that's pretty good. So now let's report. So I'm gonna hit the report button and I see that my personal timeout, the value that feels pretty good to me, is 125 milliseconds. So now I'm gonna clone this layout. And first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna revert these keys back to what they were doing before. This was my hyper, this was my left arrow, and this was my right arrow. And now I'm gonna go back here and I'm gonna tweak the settings to my liking. So first of all, I'm gonna go with that timeout that I found that seems to work well for me, 125. And oh, I don't have a right arrow because I'm still working on the other layouts. I'm just gonna drag it like that. There we go. And now there's a few other things I could tweak here, which are notable. So by default, we auto shift your letters, but it's actually kind of cool if you want to do this, for example, just for your numbers. right, for all your exclamation mark and at symbol and whatnot. So we can, for example, opt out of the letters and only do the numeric keys. And also we can do the special keys. For example, let's like the slash key here, and I'm gonna tap it a bit slower. Oh, in my case, okay, that actually leads me to the caveats. So I thought this is gonna give us a question mark, but it doesn't. Why is that? The reason it doesn't is one of the caveats. This is pretty funny. I'm still getting used to the feature myself, so I'm getting some false positives. There are two important caveats here. So that's the first thing, right? Dual function keys take precedence. And this is why when tapping my slash key, I didn't get a question mark. Why is that? Because if we go back here, you'll see my slash key is also my right control. So it won't give me a shifted version when I tap and hold it. If I do this, for example, with my semicolon and hold it, I do get a colon, you see? So tap it and hold it, I do get a colon. Now, the other important caveat here is that key repeat stops working, right, on shifted keys. So what I mean by that is if I now hit the letter A and hold it, it's not going to give me A, you know, it doesn't do that. Just I let go, it waits until I let go and gives me capital A. I can hit enter and hold that down. I can hit the arrow keys because those are not affected by the feature. So I can definitely do that. But any key which is auto-shifted will not repeat. So those are really the only two caveats here, just dual function keys and the key repeat that stops working. And it's very, very customizable, both the timeout and what you're going to apply auto-shifting to. Play with it, try it out. It's very handy. I don't know about the letter keys, depending on how your typing is and how uniform your typing rhythm is, your typing speed. But for numeric keys and for special keys, it's really, really nice. Give it a try. Let me know what you think, and thank you for watching.